I haven't talked about dating and relationships for a while. And honestly, I'm not into dating right now. I got too much going on in my life, and I really don't want to put that much effort out in that. When I'm seeing on TikTok, and this is probably just for views, but I'm starting to see a lot of, maybe I'm getting on the wrong side of TikTok, I don't know. These single moms looking for attention, looking for a stepdad for their child and partner, and then they're like all sad and crying because they're alone. I'm seeing TikToks of women saying that, they like dad bods and they want this and they want that, and in real life they wouldn't give these guys a chance. Like, they're just saying that to get views from dudes, right? I posted a video of a damn. I posted a video of a female. She was at a mixer. She posted a video of herself, but I reposted it on my channel. And she's talking about how no men showed up. Like, dude, this is what women have to understand. Like, now I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the curve. But there's a lot of men out there still don't get it. Still don't understand that they're just useful idiots for women's validation. But at some point, they're gonna wake up and realize this is pointless. This is useless. It's just the mindset that I probably talked about in a previous video, that a lot of females have this mindset that they are a celebrity. Because of their social media. And, they do themselves up like they're going to a beauty pageant for every event that they go to, or anything. Which some guys like that, but personally, I just don't like that. I think there's a time and a place to get all gussied up when it comes to makeup. But I prefer on a day-to-day basis, like, they could put on some makeup, but I don't like the whole 3 hours of getting ready just to go to a grocery store, or it's just like, dude, you're not even the same person. You're a completely different person, and you can see what makeup does, like how it can completely transform somebody. Like in the face, they might have a lot of issues. Even making somebody that would be born one gender, but making them look like they're somebody else. I hate having a tiptoe. I wish I could just be like for real and just be real and talk direct, but I have to tippy toe around things. And there's nothing wrong with those people. Okay, don't, whatever. Anyway, so probably get banned. Whatever, dude, it's gonna happen anyway. Females, like, they're so delusional, and their standards are so high. Like they're Sandra Bullock or someone, some famous celebrity from the 90s. Like, they're just rich and famous, and they're not. They're just a regular person. They're like me. I'm a regular person, but they think in their head that they're higher up than they really are because of all the validation they get online. it's just hilarious to me that these females, they're just like, they make themselves look like objects, you know. I think that the beauty of a female is some of the best scenery I've ever seen in my life. But the problem is when you become a one-trick pony and that's all you have to offer, that gets old. It ends up being like anything that's new, and it just gets old for men. Like a lot of people nowadays, I mean, especially females. Females, it's like if AI ends up taking over, like they're saying that's going to happen in Singularity, and for some reason they want to get rid of humans, I'm telling you, females will be the first to go. Why? Because they demand so many resources. You know, if they demand so many resources and they bring one thing to the table, well, a couple things. I mean, they can make babies and stuff, but if in the future, you know, robots are making babies for us, when I'm saying like, there's that sack. It's just like done technology wise, it's just progress that we don't need. It's almost like barbaric for a woman to carry a child. There's not really any need for a woman, because that's easily, like, a woman's looks and all that is going to be easy for a robot to replicate. And this is just hypothetically. And it's like, most guys, the only reason that they peacock and they get the nice car or the big house or fancy suits or this and that, and yeah, they do it for themselves, but they want to attract the opposite sex. Okay? You know, like these guys, these red pill dating guys are just like, oh, women shouldn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Then that's all they talk about is women. Yes, we like women. Yes, a woman's validation for a man is huge. It boosts our ego. It does. And these people are just lying if they say it don't. Everything is so out of balance right now. It's completely out of balance because a lot of women are in this bubble where they don't live in reality. They have this delusion of like the perfect man, but even if the perfect man presented himself, he still wouldn't be good enough because there's nobody that's perfect. There'll be something wrong with them. The lack of humility for the average female is just absurd. Like, and people like me, people like me are the backbone of this country, the backbone that keeps this country moving. So if men decided to exit society and stopped doing the jobs we do and just started building our own communities away from the cities and just men only, men only, what would women do? Women would have to do these jobs themselves, these dirty jobs, which they don't do anyway. I guarantee they would follow us. They would do whatever it takes. Oh, I'll be subservient. I'll be submissive now. Please accept me in your community. Like, these women have become so entitled nowadays that they don't have any humility. they don't recognize their own faults. They don't recognize that they're not perfect. Because, and I don't fault them for this. It's because society, maybe their parents or whatever, they never had to be responsible for their actions. You know, you know, the boy usually gets punished more than a girl in a household. And some women just walk through life without any personal responsibility. Like, if you're a woman, there's no reason. If you're a attractive woman, you don't even have to be that attractive. There's no reason why you should be homeless. You choose to be homeless. There's so many guys that'll take you under their wing and pay for you. But men don't have that same option. If we don't work and provide for ourselves, no one ain't gonna take care of us. We're gonna be homeless. That's why you see way more men homeless than women. Men are just getting tired. Like, I'm tired. Like, hypothetically, if I could meet all the standards that the average woman has for a man, I don't think that they deserve that, the average woman. Because they don't really bring anything to the table. Besides, like, their looks. But like I said, that gets old. And that's a declining thing. A man invests in a declining asset if that's the only thing that she brings. So men aren't investing. And you know, it is what it is. We're not going to approach you. Like, there might be women that I could pull in reality, in my reality, or my 3D reality, whatever. I'm sure I've done really good on dating sites before. I think that, for me anyway, I'm going to talk about me for a second. I think dating sites, like, it's more comfortable to know that somebody wants to actually have a conversation with you. So when you meet somebody out for a date on the dating site, off the dating site, it's just a little bit more ease, because I have a lot more game in that scenario than when it comes to cold approach. I don't like cold approach, but I mean, I could do it, but women don't really put off much signals. You know, they're either buried in their phone, or they're just like, I think that a lot of women are just, they don't really like men. I think that they're probably will end up going for their own gender, which is cool. Whatever you want to do, man. Like I say, it's a free country, or not a free country, but I believe in freedom. If that's what you want to do, whatever, man. I don't, we're not coming up to you. There's probably girls that have a slight crush on me or something, that if I actually, like, instead of doing what I do, especially when I go to the gym, I just, like, don't even look at them. If I could make eye contact, even when they pass me, I don't even look at them. I don't give them any validation. And they probably think I'm a jerk. And I just don't care. If they come up to me, I'll be cool. You know what I mean? But chances are that's not going to happen. And that's just that. That I know that makes me unapproachable, but that's exactly how females are doing for themselves. They're making guys, they're making themselves unapproachable for men. We don't want to end up on their social media looking like a fool on the internet. And we don't want to be talked about like harassing them. You know how many women complain about men harassing them on the internet? And men are waking up to this and they're just like, no. So if you women don't like it and you don't like that men aren't approaching you anymore, you need to start calling these women out that are doing this. You know, I understand the whole thing about a guy being creepy to a woman. I understand that. Him not getting the hint, him not getting the picture, how they feel vulnerable. And that's why I think that every woman should be trained and packing heat so she can protect herself, and that's a great equalizer to a man's strength. But we're just like, we're out of fucks to give, man. Like seriously, like a lot of men are it's increasing. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth trying to figure out if you are a feminist or not. Like, oh, do I pay for her? I don't care, man. Like, I'm cool with being a traditional man, but you need to be a traditional woman. You can't expect to get a traditional man and you're not a traditional woman yourself. It's just stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. In some circumstances, I'm a feminist. In other circumstances, I'm not. You know how confusing that is for a man? Well, men are one way or the other. We're either strong or we're weak. That's how it is. There's not really a man that can bounce back and forth like that. Women do it with ease. But the standards are just like insanely too high for feet. Like, and it's funny because they're just average people and they think that they're celebrities. And they deserve this life. Like, I can't say a thing about a woman's weight, but she can say whatever she wants about a man's height. Like, look at the double standards. Like, a man can't control his height. In most circumstances, women can control their weight, but they're highly sensitive. And it's like, you have no self-control. You have no self-discipline. This dude that's like 5'5" can't control he's 5'5". And like, these women keep complaining. It's like, you're like, you realize, like, you're not paying attention to anything that's going on. You're sitting there in your reality shows or whatever you do, your stupid shows, your drama-filled fake shows. But you people haven't even, like a lot of women, not all, but they just jump from guy to guy. They don't even try to look at maybe what they've done wrong in the relationship. They blame the guy that they were with. Like, they say he's a dirtbag. And then I've seen like a girl, I've seen girls like, oh, my ex is somebody else's problem. And they're like laughing about it. Or like, you're an idiot because you fell in love with them now. But it's just like, well, you did too at some point. So what does that say about you? So why did you do that? Well, like, why are you not thinking about correcting your emotional problems or what you did wrong in the relationship? It's not always on the man. Like, that's what the men are always the damn scapegoat. Like, we're always the one that gets blamed for everything. And in a lot of cases that could be true because of lack of leadership. But maybe the man got disinterested in the female. Or maybe she was, how about this? This was a popular song when I was like a teenager. Don't go chasing waterfalls. A lot of these females, I think a lot of these good-looking females have been with the blue check mark in some aspect of their life, whether it was just one night or whatever, and then now they think that they can land that when they're just a regular person. Or maybe they had one of them in their DMs, a blue check mark. Now they think that they're like so much more valuable, when it's like, dude, like, you're not all that, man. You're really not. Like, you're cool for, like, a fun time, but how are you relationship material? And I don't think that women understand that they are the gatekeepers to sex, but we are the gatekeepers to relationships. And if the only thing you're bringing is a poor attitude, an attitude where it's like, you have to be rich before I meet you and be to this certain level, and not like this attitude where it's like, oh, okay, I see this guy has got some potential and I'm going to work with him and we can build together. No. And I'm not saying like, I'm just saying like, be his support and maybe boost him a little bit, and then maybe he can achieve some things in his life. But they want everything already taken care of. They want it all before they even get there, so they could just like go on the beach and relax or whatever, and not help out at all. So if I was a man with privilege, with being rich, and why would I settle down for that? You're probably only gonna be with me because I got money. Why would I invest anything emotionally in you? Why would I ever marry you? Because if you're not, like, I hear this all the time for females. If you can't accept me at my worst, you don't accept me at my best. Well, doesn't that go both ways? Apparently not. Men are just supposed to always be on their A game non-stop. We can't have an off day. We're not robots. And once women get this delusion out of their head that there's some kind of, and it's society's fault, man. And I understand why women are the way they are, because there's a lot of dudes that prop them up and make them feel like that. And at the end of the day, why women are so delusional in their either their belief systems or their expectations, it's because they have so many guys just like chomping at the bit. Even like average looking women, even regular women that are like probably like a 6 or 7 on the internet, they get all this validation, and they have all these guys just like non-stop. So I understand why women have this huge ego of why they expect nothing but filet mignon or the very best of wine that they can get out of a man. I'm just using it as an analogy. Why they deserve the very best, because when you have all this attention put on you, your ego is going to be hyperinflated. It's so crazy. A lot of these females, and I get annoyed. Like when I'm on TikTok, whether you believe me or not, when I'm looking at videos, right? When a woman pops up and the first thing I see is her booty and some tight shorts, guess what I do? Swipe up. I don't want to see that. I'm just like, dude. And yes, it looks great. It's amazing look, but it's like, you have nothing to offer in value when it comes to content. So many of these females, the only reason why they get the likes, the views, or the followers, or whatever platform they are on, It's because of their physical beauty, but their content is trash. It really is. Like, that's all they have is their physical appearance. Like, most of these females don't bring anything to the table when it on here. When I have to, as a man, I have to build my following based off of ideas I think of and content that people could either laugh at me because I'm cringe, or like relate to something I'm trying to, some kind of point I'm trying to make. But I have to think. I have to be creative. I can't just be like, here, look at this. Look at this. Like, that's all they do. It's so funny, like, I think the algorithm I think it's getting better though, because I don't search women anymore on Instagram. I did that when I was a simp way back in the day, probably like 2015. I used to be a simp. I sound crazy. But I used to be one. Didn't know any better. So you see these females, I've said this before, you see these females on Instagram, right? So these girls like a girl would pop up, like a fitness girl. And the same thing, man, same picture. And it's so funny, like, she's just wearing something different. She's got the same pose, same background, and she gets all these likes and views. And then it's like working out. Working out is pretty fucking boring, honestly. Lifting weights is pretty boring. And watching somebody lift weights is even more fucking boring. And the fact that people in general just, I understand, like, a little bit, but at this point I'm just like tired of it. I think it's almost cringe for me, for people to be posting videos of them working out. It's not like you're showing us something we've never seen, showing us a workout, like, oh man, bench press. Like, nobody cares. And the only reason why these females get views on these videos is because they're showing off their body. That's it. And if I was following some broad in my gym off of Instagram, and I was watching one of her videos, and she comes up and behind me and she sees I'm watching one of her videos, you think she's not going to be creeped out? She'd be creeped out. It'd be just as, you know what I mean? But she put that out there. Is she the creep? When are women going to be held to the standard of men? Like, you're the creep. You're enabling the creeps. You don't want men watching you in the gym if you're not attracted to them, because you'll feel like they're creeps. But it's okay for you to take the same movements that you don't and put it on the internet, and for these creeps, as long as they ain't around you, as long as they're somewhere else, a different part of the world or whatever, you like that. That's not creepy to you. Even though what they're probably doing with your videos and your pictures is, you would be like, oh, that's gross. Ugh. Some point, these females need to become cringe. And the only way that's going to happen if men wake up and realize, like I said, like, the first thing we need to do in a different video is stop giving women validation online. Stop following them on everything. Don't comment on their stuff. Don't like their stuff. Don't share their stuff. And once that validation goes away, you'll see a big change in their attitudes. A huge change. They'll probably freak out. Like me. My views are going boom. It is what it is. Perhaps this is the biggest, most widespread my stuff will ever get. I realize that's okay. I'll do something else with my time. They have nothing else going in their life at all. Nothing. Just saying.